Hello and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you all the latest news and updates in 30 minutes. Let's begin. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday called upon the people of polling states Mizoram and Chhattisgarh, especially the young and first-time voters, to exercise their franchise and strengthen the festival of democracy as both states went to poll. Polling closed for the single-phase elections in India's northeastern state of Mizoram on Tuesday. Over 8.5 lakh eligible voters will decide the fate of 174 candidates contesting the state polls. The first phase of polling for the state assembly elections in Chhattisgarh also concluded on Tuesday. A total of 90 legislative assembly seats are being contested in the elections. In the first phase, 20 seats were up for voting. The remaining 70 seats will go to poll on the 17th of November. The results will be announced on the 3rd of December. Indian President Draupadi Murmu, who is on a 3-day visit to northern state of Uttarakhand, addressed the 35th convocation of Govind Ballabh Pant University of Agriculture and Technology at Pantnagar on Tuesday. The crest of India's Navy's latest under-construction guided missile destroyer Surat was unveiled by Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel in the city of Surat in the presence of Navy Chief Admiral R. Hari Kumar and senior dignitaries. Malaysian Foreign Minister Zamri Abdul Qadir, who is on a 2-day visit to India, co-chaired the 6th India-Malaysia Joint Commission meeting in New Delhi on Tuesday. A massive fire broke out at a shop in Gujarat's Surendranagar district on Tuesday, causing severe damage to at least 7 shops nearby. Multiple fire tenders were deployed to tackle the growing blaze. 3 people were killed after being run over by an Andhra Pradesh state bus at a bus station in Vijayawada city. The Indian National Investigation Agency has filed a charge sheet against 2 in espionage racket operating from across the border. The supplementary charge sheet was filed on Monday. Investigations reveal that the accused was sharing classified information related to the Indian Navy with a suspected Pakistani intelligence operative. A statue of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was unveiled in Jammu and Kashmir's Kupwara district on Tuesday. Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir Manoj Sinha were also present on the occasion. The second consignment of emergency relief for earthquake-affected families in Nepal was handed over by India on Monday. An aircraft of the Indian Air Force carrying over 9 tons of relief material departed from India to deliver relief material to Nepalganj as the ongoing humanitarian relief mission for Nepal continues. The President of Zanzibar inaugurated the Indian Institute of Technology Madras Zanzibar campus at an event held on Tuesday in the presence of Tanzanian officials, Indian dignitaries along with the students. U.S. Ambassador to India Eric Garcetti on Tuesday visited the U.S. mission in the national capital to oversee the unprecedented demand for the U.S. visitor visas among Indians. In the Indian state of Punjab, yet another video of massive stubble burning surfaced on Tuesday. The practice, aimed at clearing fields for the next planting season, has become a significant contributor to air pollution in the region. Amid rising air pollution in New Delhi, the Supreme Court said that burning of crop residue in Indian states of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan is a key factor behind the massive spike in Delhi's air pollution. The Supreme Court also held the Delhi government responsible for increasing air pollution and urged them to address the issues of buses, which, while operating at less than full capacity, are contributing to air pollution. Delhi Environment Minister Gopal Rai chaired a meeting with Transport Minister and officers at Delhi Secretariat to formulate a plan of implementing odd-even scheme in the national capital. After the meeting, the minister announced a delay in the implementation of odd-even vehicle scheme as his government has opted to carefully review Supreme Court's recent order and incorporate its suggestions. The air quality across India's capital, Delhi, and the National Capital Region continued to be in the severe category on Tuesday. With air pollution levels 7 to 8 times higher than the safe standards in New Delhi on Monday, schools in the capital have been closed except for classes 10th and 12th until the 10th of November. The southern Indian state or city of Bengaluru is witnessing incessant rains and waterlogging since Monday evening. The Indian Weather Department has issued a yellow warning in the state till Thursday. Heavy rain slashed several parts of South Indian state of Tamil Nadu. The state has been witnessing heavy rains that led to waterlogging in many parts. Weather Service has forecast sporadic intense rains through 8th of November in the state. Residents in Lahore woke up to more toxic smog on Tuesday as air quality in Pakistan's second largest city remained at hazardous levels. The aurora borealis, also known as the northern lights, illuminated the sky in the Italian region of Veneto. Collisions between electrically charged particles from the sun and particles in the Earth's atmosphere caused the phenomenon. Blizzard swept through China's Inner Mongolia and northeastern provinces, covering roads and highways on Tuesday. Over 700 snow removal vehicles were mobilized to remove the snow. Heavy rain in the wake of Storm Ciarán caused floodwaters to burst banks in northern France today. Weather departments issued red alerts in several places. Authorities said several roads were blocked. Belgium's traditional horseback fishers are seeing sea climate change in their nets. Rise in temperatures has altered the ecosystem of the North Sea, disrupting traditional seasons for the small horseback fishing community. The coastal village is also the last place in the world where horseback shrimp fishing is still practiced. An Israeli fighter jet struck a terrorist cell and Hamas mortar shell launchers in Gaza. Israel Defense Forces units have taken control of a Hamas stronghold in the northern Gaza Strip. People in Israel hold a minute of standing silence to commemorate the victims of Hamas's 7th of October massacre across southern Israel as memorial service get underway today. The moment of silence took place without a siren, unlike on Holocaust Remembrance Day and Memorial Day. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has reiterated that there will be no ceasefire in Gaza until the Hamas releases all the hostages, but there will be tactical little pauses for aid. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for an immediate ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas conflict, amplifying demands for a ceasefire. The United Nations chair said the protection of civilians must be paramount. Guterres also condemned the violations of international humanitarian law and urged all the parties to respect their obligations. Exactly a year before Election Day, US President Joe Biden trails Republican frontrunner Donald Trump. Results of a poll showed that 5 out of 6 swing states favor Trump over Biden for president in 2024 elections. Former US President Donald Trump has called a civil fraud case in New York election interference during his testimony. Trump is accused of inflating his wealth to secure better loan from banks. If he loses, he could be banned from doing business in his home state. Top diplomats of the Group of 7 Nations start 2 days talk in Tokyo, the first such gathering since the Hamas attacks on Israel. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that it is an important moment for the G7 to come together in the face of the Middle East conflict. Britain's King Charles on Tuesday delivered his first speech in more than 70 years, formally opening the UK Parliament with a rundown of his government's legislative plans as an election looms. He said that my government will continue to take action to fight inflation. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese visited China after a gap of 7 years. In an annual leaders meeting, Albanese met Chinese Premier Li Qiang on Tuesday. Earlier, he met Chinese President Xi Jinping and also discussed economic relations between the two countries. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has agreed on a tougher migration policy and new fundings for refugees with heads of Germany's 16 states on Tuesday. Germany government has agreed to make it easier to deport migrants and to make the country a less attractive destination. Russia and Ukraine claim to have attacked each other's military. According to its military, Russia has destroyed several artillery guns and vehicles of the Ukrainian forces. Ukraine has released a report stating that more than 50 battles were fought on the front line in the past 24 hours. Ukraine on Monday launched a criminal investigation for the soldiers killed in a missile strike during an award ceremony on Friday. Expressing his condolences to the families and close ones of the warriors, President Zelensky said that the incident could have been avoided. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky believes that it is irresponsible to talk about holding an election in Ukraine during wartime and also called for unity to avoid pointless political discussions. Speaking at a press briefing in South Africa, Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said Ukraine would focus on alternatives to see the Black Sea Grain Initiative. He said that he did not see any encouraging indicators about the revival of the grain deal, and Ukraine would increase exports through European land routes. The United Auto Workers Union announced that its 74% members at General Dynamics in Michigan, Ohio and Pennsylvania have voted to ratify their tentative agreement. The deal has put an end on more than a month-old strike in the United States. Jailed Iranian Nobel Peace Prize winner Narges Mohammadi began a hunger strike to protest against the jail's failure to give her access to medical care. As per the reports, authorities did not allow Mohammadi to go to the hospital for heart and lung treatment last week as she refused to wear a mandatory headscarf. The women's rights advocate won the Nobel Peace Prize on the 6th of October for her fight against oppression of women in Iran. Protesters took to the streets of Mexico's capital, demanding the government to speed up the release of resources to start reconstruction of the port city weeks after Hurricane Otis's devastating impact on the coastal city. Hurricane Otis made landfall in Acapulco 2 weeks ago, cutting off contact for the 900,000 residents of the city. Peru's foreign minister has resigned after less than a year, amid questions over how she handled President Dina Boluarte's visit last week to the United States. Local news outlets reported that she was under pressure after failing to arrange a formal meeting between Boluarte and President Joe Biden. A group of protesters clashed with riot police in Spain's capital, Madrid, over the possibility of amnesty for those connected to Spanish province Catalonia's unsuccessful 2017 independence bid. The protests were held outside the party headquarters of acting Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, who is struggling to form a government in 3 months after an inconclusive election. During his official visit to Singapore, Britain's Prince William met with Singaporean leaders. He is going to Singapore for the annual Earthshot Prize that awards $1.22 million to 5 winners developing solutions to environmental problems. This is the first visit to the Southeast Asian nation in over a decade. Moving on to economy and business. Indian share markets closed 16 points or 0.03% lower today as Sensex settled at 64,942.4 points. Nifty 50 was 5 points or 0.03% lower to close at 19,406.7. Indian rupee weakens 5 paise, closes at 83.27 against the US dollar. Coal futures maturing on the 5th of December this year stood at 59,990 rupees per 10 grams on Multi-Commodity Exchange of India Limited. Silver futures maturing on the 5th of December this year are traded at 70,800 rupees per kilogram on the MCX. Brent crude was trading at around $83.62 US per barrel today. WeWork, the SoftBank Group-backed startup, sought U.S. bankruptcy protection on Monday. The decision comes after its bets on companies using more of its office sharing space soared. Shares of the company have fallen roughly 96% this year. Over 1,000 workers at an Amazon warehouse in central England went on strike on Tuesday over pay dispute. The workers plan to continue their strike on Wednesday and Thursday as well as on Black Friday. Facebook owner Meta announced that it has prohibited political campaigns and advertisers from using its new generative AI advertising products. The announcement was made in updates posted on its help center. The German government reduced value-added tax to 7% for restaurants in order to support them during the pandemic lockdown, but this will be increased up to 19% by the end of this year. Around 12,000 businesses could close if the VAT rises. Britain's Prince William raced on a dragon boat with expatriates in Singapore ahead of the Earthshot Prize. Prince William won the race with the British Dragons Dragon Boat Club. The annual Earthshot Prize awards £1 million to 5 winners developing solutions to environmental concerns. Hosted by Singapore this year, celebrities like Kate Blanchett and Robert Ewen, as well as activists, policymakers and innovators are expected to attend the event. Mark Gauthier, a Parkinson's patient, received a Swiss-designed implant to improve his mobility. The device is designed by Onward Medical. The device is unique in its capability to target the spinal cord in a specific and flexible way. Indo-Pacific bottlenose dolphins, protected as endangered species in South Korea, are facing serious threats from tourist boats providing a clear view of dolphins. Locals in Bok Lia province in Vietnam have nurtured the nesting stork's bird species, turning them into one of the largest number of bird species in the region. The 20 hectares of mangroves originally intended for firewood have been preserved by the residents ever since the bird flocks returned. Despite the challenging livelihood, people in this riverine area remain dedicated to nurturing the birds. A diverse array of novel and innovative products is being showcased at the ongoing 6th China International Import Expo in Shanghai. The event is scheduled to take place from the 5th till the 10th of November. Among the many products is a new type of cleaning machine that can be driven like a car. Made by CarShare, the machine can exert a pressure equivalent to 20 kilograms on the floor to make it clean. Japan's Princess Kako met children with hearing impairment at a school in Peru and communicated with them in the local sign language. The school is the country's only public school for children with hearing impairments in Peru's capital, Lima. The princess is on an official visit to the South American country. November 7 commemorates renowned Indian physicist C.V. Raman's birth anniversary. Born in southern state of Tamil Nadu, Raman won the Nobel Prize in Physics back in the year 1930 for unraveling the Raman effect. In a display of solidarity, the walls of Jerusalem's Old City were lit with photos of hostages held by Hamas. The faces of more than 200 Israeli hostages held by Hamas were projected onto the walls of Jerusalem's Old City on the eve of 1 month anniversary of the Israel-Hamas conflict. A new United Kingdom-based project is combining arts and science to show how our brains are stimulated when we see a beautiful painting. People visiting the Courtauld Gallery in London can try the technology and see their own brain waves in real time as they admire works by some of the world's most famous artists, including Van Gogh. The 6th World Laureates Forum opened in Shanghai with over 300 scientists from 25 countries, including 27 Nobel laureates. The gathering will see in-depth discussions on topics such as the life sciences, artificial intelligence, and efforts to mitigate climate change. The forum is co-organized by the World Laureates Association and the China Association for Science and Technology. This year's forum has the theme called Science Leads Transformation. A hat worn by Napoleon Bonaparte during his reign of the French Empire is expected to fetch $854,000 when it goes on sale at an auction in Paris. The hat will go on sale on the 19th of November, together with the nightshirt that the Emperor wore on his final exile on the Isle of St. Helena. A copy of his last will written out by the Count of Montholon at Napoleon's dictation that will also be up for the auction. The New York City Marathon got its new champions. Ethiopian Tamira Tola crushed the competition to win the New York City Marathon in a course record of 2 hours, 4 minutes and 58 seconds. Kenyan Helen Obiri won the women's race. Switzerland's Catherine Debrunner set a new course of records for the women's wheelchair division at New York City Marathon. Marcel Huck completed a Swiss wheelchair racing sweep, making history in the men's race. Hollywood Actors Guild strike entered its 117th day as they have not been able to come to an agreement on a number of issues, including the use of artificial intelligence. The union members walked off their jobs in July, demanding higher remuneration in the streaming television time and security around the use of artificial intelligence. The 2023 Council of Fashion Designers of America's annual award celebrated innovators in the American fashion industry. A-list celebrities including Kim Kardashian, Anne Hathaway, Demi Moore and other celebs attended the CFDA event on Monday night. The final trailer for The Marvels released today and confirms the return of Valkyrie and flashback cameos of Captain America and Iron Man. The film is set to release on Friday, the 10th of November. Disney Plus released the first teaser for the upcoming Korean drama Soundtrack #2. Following the successful fourth season, the sequel will stream on OTT platforms from December this year. Fans of the iconic Argentine singer-songwriter Charly Garcia gathered at the intersection of Walker Street and Cortlandt Alley in Lower Manhattan on Monday as they witnessed the official renaming of the crossroads to Charly Garcia Corner. Vicky Kaushal's Sam Bahadur trailer was unveiled today. The film also stars Sania Malhotra, Fatima Sana Sheikh, Neeraj Kapi, Mohammad Zishan Ayub and others. In a recent Instagram update, actor Siddharth Malhotra unveiled two posters from his upcoming film called Yodha. The film's release date has been rescheduled to March the 15th next year, having originally been slated for the 15th of December this year. Oscar-winning director Alexander Payne's new film called The Holdovers is enjoying critical success after his last film, Downsizing, saw negative reception. Currently, the film has 98% score on a review aggregate website. Ahead of the release of the last season of The Crown, performance coaches shared how the cast honed their character portrayals. William Cornishaw disclosed that he and fellow cast members extensively studied footage of the British royals with no audio to capture their distinctive gestures. Tamil superstar Vijay's film Leo earns 2.25 crore rupees on third day. The total collection of Leo after 19 days is recorded at 331 crore rupees and is inching closer to Rajnikant's jailer. Moving on to sports, Ibrahim Zadran becomes the first Afghanistan batter to score a ton at the ongoing World Cup. Zadran smashed 129 not out against Australia on Tuesday. Bangladesh ended Sri Lanka's dreams of reaching the Cricket World Cup semi-finals with a hard-fought 3-wicket victory in a match filled with controversies. Sri Lanka's Angelo Matthews said Bangladesh's actions were disgraceful after he became the first international cricketer to be timed out on his side's World Cup loss in Delhi. Bangladesh captain Shakib Al Hasan said he did not know if it was right or wrong and that the umpires asked if he was serious when he controversially appealed to have Sri Lanka batter Angelo Matthews given timed out in the World Cup on Monday. England will take on the Netherlands in match number 40 of the ICC Cricket World Cup at Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune on Wednesday. Punjab won its maiden T20 Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy title, defeating Baroda in the final by 20 runs. R. Vaishali and Vidit Gujarati clinched women's and open category titles in FIDE Grand Swiss in a rare double for India on the world stage, with both the players also qualifying for the prestigious Candidates Tournament. International Hockey Federation has announced the pools for the men and women qualification tournaments for the Olympics next year. Indian women's hockey team pool matches are set to be played on the 13th till the 21st of January next year in Ranchi. Iga Swiatek regained her world #1 ranking on Monday. Swiatek dominated Jessica Pegula and won the season-ending WTA finals on Monday. Erling Haaland will be in doubt for Tuesday's game against Young Boys after he's twisted his ankle during the 6-1 hammering of Bournemouth in the Premier League. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India, so don't go anywhere. Keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now.